Some love stories don't end with goodbye. They end with silence, distance, and 1,000 words left unsaid. This is not just a story of love. It's the story of how two people who once promised forever slowly became strangers. It started like all great stories do, unexpectedly. Arev was a quiet boy with a poetic soul. He worked at a design agency in Pune and lived a life that never made much noise. One rainy morning, at a cozy bookstore cafe in Korgyan Park, he met Mira. She was there to pick up a rare copy of Rumi's poetry. He was sipping his coffee and sketching a new logo design. Their eyes met, and something clicked, a spark neither of them were looking for, but instantly recognized. Mira was everything Arev wasn't: loud, free-spirited, and a little chaotic. She laughed from the gut and wore mismatched socks on purpose. But that day, she sat at his table, uninvited but welcome, and said, "You look like you sketch stories, not just designs." He smiled. "And you look like you walk into stories you haven't read yet." That was the beginning. Over the months, their bond grew from stolen glances to long midnight walks on FC Road, from shy texts to voice notes that never ended. Arev, the planner, learned how to live in the moment. Mira, the wanderer, learned how to stay still. They made memories that smelled of filter coffee, sounded like old Bollywood music, and looked like fairy lights in her rented flat's balcony. He wrote her poems. She painted them on her walls. They didn't say, "I love you" often. They didn't have to. It was in the way she rested her head on his shoulder during auto rickshaw rides. It was in the way he kept her fridge stocked with strawberry yogurt, even though he hated it. One evening, she asked, "Do you ever feel scared that we won't last?" Arev froze. Not because he didn't think about it, but because he did. "Often, sometimes," he admitted. "But I choose us every day. That has to count for something." But fears don't need proof. They just need space to grow. Small fights started showing up between big laughs, missed calls, late replies, days when they didn't talk, and when they did, it felt like reading old conversations on new screens. Mira wanted to move to Delhi for a theater workshop. Arev was offered a promotion that would anchor him in Pune for the next 3 years. "Long distance doesn't work," she said, eyes trembling. "Let's make it work," he said, voice shaking. But even as they kissed goodbye at the train station, both knew they were kissing the end of a chapter they weren't ready to close. Calls became texts. Texts became likes on Instagram stories. Then nothing. Arev stayed up, rereading her poems. Mira started writing new ones that didn't have him in them. One evening, he saw a picture of her with someone new. Her eyes were still shining, but not for him. He didn't cry, not that day, but that night, he deleted her contact just so he wouldn't call her when he was too weak not to. Months passed, seasons changed, memories didn't. They met again at a mutual friend's wedding. She smiled, he nodded. They danced with other people, but every beat reminded them of their rhythm. "Are you happy?" he asked. "I think so," she said. "Are you?" He didn't answer. Some questions deserve silence. Arev started journaling again. Mira started painting again. They never blocked each other. They just stopped reaching out. But every time the rain hit the windows, both remembered that first meeting. They were not angry. They were not in love. They were just chapters in each other's book that would never be rewritten. Love doesn't always break with noise. Sometimes It just fades with time. They didn't get back together. They didn't become best friends. They became something more difficult, a memory, and sometimes that's enough. If this story helped you drift into peace, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more calming bedtime tales.